like to be a flying monkey so I can just get huge airs coming 9 foot out of the sky. You know how it is.
In 1995, just 4 years after inline skating had become the fastest growing participation sport in human history, the first X Games made its way into households across America. While millions of people were already familiar with the idea of rollerblading as a recreational activity, the X Games was the first time most viewers ever saw the sport that was then known as aggressive inline skating.
It's aggravating, you know, when you gotta blow out some steam, just going inverted, like, bam! Getting those huge airs and just having a blast, you know what I mean? Yeah.
For such a young sport, getting so much exposure was seen as a triumph, testimony to the sport's longevity and tidings of widespread public acceptance. But what no one seemed to expect was public backlash from the freshly formed action sports community.
We were invited to come to the first X Games, and I don't think many of us were ready for it. And I came from a skateboard background, and I remember getting off the tour bus, coming into the dorms, and walking into the lobby and seeing Danny Way and Tuss Pappas, these guys, you know, as a little skateboard dude, looked up to them, you know, and I remember them just grilling us. The first time I ever heard anyone called a freebooter was right then. It's just kind of a weird thing, because back in Atlanta, my friends were skateboarders that I grew up skateboarding and rolling with. Like, there was just no hate.
Critics saw a young, unrefined sport attempting to pass itself off as a legitimate lifestyle alongside cultures nearly 20 years its senior.
Is so young, I don't know if the inliners get the significance, let's say, of a competition like this, whereas the BMXers, the skateboarders, they've been doing this for so long, it's more like a business trip, kind of comparing, let's say, a college football team on a road trip or the 49ers.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Hoffman in skateboarding, Tony Hawk, these guys have made big bucks in business. Inline, not quite the same thing.
Because rollerblading has its roots and is on the same terrain as skateboarding and biking, it's kind of like we started out without our own true identity. It's kind of looked at as we're kind of posing off that, biting off that. And so really in the beginning, I mean, we were totally doing our own thing, but it was on someone else's terrain that was already created.
In the post-homie don't play that world of 1995, a crucial time in the development of the modern concept of posers or fakes, rollerblading became the most famous poser symbol of all, the faux lex of action sports. Skateboarders decided we bit their scene and let everyone know. After that, it was like nothing rollerblading could do allowed it to escape the constant vigil of skateboarding's shadow.
BMXers got 2 wheels. Skateboarders got 4. We've got 8 wheels. Do the math, asshole. We took the best of surfing, skateboarding, and BMX, and then we just dwarfed those bozos.
Blading the edge. Men, get in line.
And the rest has been history. The resulting stigma essentially erased the positive exposure rollerblading had earned itself, replacing it instead with a tendency to be discredited. Now, 11 years after the first X Games, rollerblading finds itself fighting a war for survival that has inadvertently created the very history it was discredited for lacking.
We're in the young stage. We're getting back to the bottom because you got to fix the foundation and work with the basics and make sure that all that is ready and secure.
This is the story of a global community of athletes unified by a common interest. This is what it's like being a rollerblader, being part of a group that some critics really do wish was barely dead.
You know, the energies have shifted. Now it's gone underground and it's gotten stronger and better than ever before.
So many rollerbladers cite the X Games as the source of their interest in blading that it's as good a place to start as any. And it's a good story too, because what almost no one knows is that the X Game exists in many parts thanks to the early popularity of rollerblading, a point which deserves some exploration.
Yeah, 1994 was the first official street course contest put on by NIST, National Inline Skate Series. It got the TV psyched on filming skate contests. Rollerblading was popping off big and growing crazy at that point. And so that's where they got the whole idea to bring this to the X Games type deal and have skateboarding and BMX and all that because the rollerblading contest did so well on TV. And that's what a lot of people don't realize.
And yes, rollerblading was a big part of the inaugural X Games and getting it off the ground.
The X Games getting off the ground in 1995 was no accident. Skateboarding, freestyle BMX, snowboarding, wakeboarding, and other assorted sports, soon to be given the uber-generic umbrella title of action sports, relative plateaus when suddenly rollerblading enters the horizon with millions of new skaters. National Sporting Goods Association statistics put inline participation at nearly 24 million. At the same time, skateboarding 4.5 million, snowboarding 3.8 million. It was no comparison. Inline had exploded, and all that money had to go somewhere. Turns out the X Games got a chunk of it too, and has gone on to change the cultural identity of youth the world over.
There is no better recruiting